Good. Well, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for coming and joining me in the workshop. It's been a while, so I thought I'd do just a small video. I have a Christmas fair, craft fair, what you want to call it, to do for a local, it's a group of crafters, and they've asked me to attend their craft fair. So I said yes. So I thought what I'd do for this craft fair would make a few snow gnomes, whatever you want to call them. No, not gnomes, what they call gonks. Some Christmas gonks. So I've got some pieces of cherry. I've cut. They was in long limbs, so I've cut them in blocks around about 4.5 inches, 4.5 inches long by around about 90 mil square. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn a couple of Christmas gonks. So I ain't going to show you how I turn every single one, but I will show you the first one, and then I will show you the gathering of gonks once they're all turned. So we're going to get this round first off. So what I've done is I've marked my centres, as always, dot punched it. So we're going to go on live centre and round this off. So we get it round, and perhaps what I'll do is I'll perhaps round all the pieces at the same time. So then all I've got to do is chuck them up. So I'll do this one, and then I'll skip through to when I'm chucking it up, and then we'll do it like that. So skip this tool rest in here, not that close though, because there we go. So we're just going to rough this off quickly. I'm going to be using a what's that, inch roughing gouge just to rough these off. Like I say, we're not going to be doing massive bits, so we're just going to use a inch roughing gouge. So we're just going to get that round, so we're nearly there. A little bit more. So that's round. So we'll put a tenon on the end. Now we'll be using my small SC2 chuck to turn these gonks. So I have this already set to what size we need. So we'll get let's zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So we'll zoom this in, and then what I will do is I will cut this down to the correct size that we need for my SC2. Finger stuck. We'll take that down to what we need. That's what we need for the SC2. So we'll just create a decent size tenon on there, like so. So that is ready now to hold in our chuck. So that's the first one done. So let's get on with the next one, and I'll come back to you guys when we are ready to start turning some shape on our gonk. So I've got them all turned, and we're ready now to start actually creating our what do you call them, gonks. As you can see, they're all different sizes, and we've got a couple of cracks in some of them, but hopefully we can turn some of them out. But you're not really going to see that underneath the beard. So if we can get the hat and the hat and the body, because I'm going to turn them all in one piece. A lot of people turn them in two parts. I have turned them in two parts, but I like to turn them in one piece if I can. Just makes them a little less hassle, a little bit quicker. So let's go for that. So first thing we need to do is obviously get our chuck on. Like I said before, I'm using the SC2 chuck. Nice little compact chuck, plenty big enough for doing these. So we're going to keep up some tail support as well while we're doing them, just so we've got that extra little bit of security, and then we can remove the tail stock once we have got the rough shape we want. So obviously we need a head and a hat, so we'll split it roughly 50-50. Let's move this extraction out on. Let's split it roughly 50-50, so this part will be our body, this bit will be our head. And like I said, they're going to be Christmas ones, so we want a little bit of beading on the hat, and we're going to paint the hats red, so hopefully we can get that all done in one piece. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bead and mark where my hat and body is going to be. They don't need to be this sort of size, so we can remove quite a bit of this. Perhaps end up making the let's have a look, let's see what I've got. Perhaps make the bodies around about 60mm in diameter, so it's a good guess. Actually that might be too wide. Perhaps 50mm in diameter might be better for the body, so if I was going to make the hat and the body proportion look wrong. So 50mm. Yeah. So 50mm. And then we can start getting in some shape for the hat. So we'll start, actually we could use the rough and gouge to get rid of a lot of that. So we'll start putting in the shape of our hat. The hat's not going to be as wide as that. So we'll take a bit of that down. So we're going to put a little bead on that. So let's create that first. So a little bit of a bead. Oops, I'll have that. Get a little bit too keen with the spindle there. I want a little bead on there, because I'm going to colour that little bead white. After all, it's Christmas, so now we can start putting some shape for the hat. Oh, it's a little bit high. So let's get rid of this tailstock now. We can start I'm going to put a little ball on the end for our obviously hat. So we want to clean this tailstock end up. So I'll put you on the camera so you can see that one there. So I'm just going to clean this end up here a little bit. Get rid of that dimple where our tailstock has been, and start creating a ball on there. So now we can come back with the tailstock and start coming in from the other side. And once I've got the shape of my ball, I can then bring my hat into it. So you can see now we can just bring the hat into the ball like so. So we've got a little bit of a swoop and curve in there rather than just a triangle. Let's do a little bit more, not a great deal. That's it. So just refine our ball a little bit. So we'll just refine our rim a little bit. Just stop and have a look. So I'm happy with that. Happy with the shape. Like I say, we're going to do a little bit of white around there. So we'll perhaps do a little mark in there actually, just to keep the white and the red away from each other. So that's our hat done. So now we need to start shaping up for our body. So we're going to bring our tool rest back. I'm going to remove a lot of this waste. We're going to get a cylinder. So there's a cylinder. So all we're going to do now is we're going to put a part line in there where we're going to part it, which will be somewhere there. As close to the chuck as we can get it. So what we need to do now is just curve the bottom edge. Like so. And that's it. That's all I'm going to go. The only thing I may do because I may just clean that up a little bit, because a little bit. Like that. That's it. So let's just quickly sand that up. So we're going to sand that up quickly to about 400 grit. So we're going to do 120. Now we can just refine our board if we have to. So obviously we want to do the rim, this and this white and this red, because after all it's a Christmas gonk. So what we need to do is do something to stop the colours bleeding. Well, the best way to do that is to get a little piece of mica, like so, and we're just going to gently rub it in that line there. And all we're doing is we're just burning up the fibres of the wood. That should stop the colours bleeding together. Should, he says. Just a bit in there as well. So I'm not going to seal that because I want the colours to soak into the timber. So for the colour we're going to use is this stunning red from the range, and then we want a white. Got an acrylic white here we could choose. So we've got this stunning red that we get from the range, really nice vibrant red, and then we've got some white acrylic as well. So let's get a brush, I want a massive brush because we don't want to be putting on too heavy. Get a little pot. So I use little shot glass pots, which are perfect. Obviously we don't need a pot for that one, but we will do for the other one. So first one, red. Like I say, look at that lovely vibrant red. When we get to this bit at the top there, we're going to try not to get it on the ball. Try, he says. If you need to, you can turn the lathe on just to give you a nice tight line, which sometimes I prefer because you can just nudge the brush up to it. Like I said, them lines should stop the colours bleeding into the rest of the bits. It just squashes up the fibres and stops it allowing it to do it. Right, so we're just going to do a nice gradually push that up to there, and then we're going to do the same with this one, gradually push that up to that line there. Oh, that's not what I want to do. And I'm just going to don't put this on too thick like this because that'll just splash everywhere. But you seem to get a nice evener coat if you do it with the lathe running. So that's our red. Now touch that with the brush. Right, so because this and this we're going to paint with an acrylic paint, we need to seal those. So let's get a little bit of sand and sealer. We can put a little bit of sand and sealer in our pot, and we can just paint those with a small brush to seal those before we put our acrylic on them. Because like we've always said, with a stain you want it to soak into the timber. With an acrylic you want it to sit on top of the timber. So hence why we're sealing before we paint. So just keep that nice and tight up against. And like so. And the same with this. Right, so that's sealed. Give that a couple of minutes to dry off, and then we'll give it a coat of this titanium white. Right, so we'll see how this covers. May need a couple of coats. We'll see. So we'll just turn the label on low. That means we can get tight in this line here. I think it's going to need a couple of coats. We're going to address that. Right, so that's the black, the red and the white done. So I'm happy with that. So we'll just let that dry a little bit. And then we will be ready to part that off. Don't really need to. I will sand and seal that. You don't really need to. I will just sand and seal the body. So what I'm going to do, just going to give that a little coat of acrylic sand and sealer just to seal this, because this is not sealed yet. Actually, we'll perhaps sort of give it a little bit of sand and sealer. So I've got these three, I've got a fourth one over there that I need to finish off. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to colour the hat yet, but I've got these three at the moment, but I need to part them off. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly part these off, and then we can assemble, ready for getting the beds and that on them. So let's just get these parted off without dropping them, because we don't want to damage them now, do we? After spending all that time getting them all right and getting them all nice. So a slight undercut. That's our first one. So we've just got to quickly sand up the bottom of those. So we're just going to sand up the bottom of these where we've got that little nub where we've taken it off. So it's a little bit of extraction on. So being Christmas, we really want white. So the best one I have for being white is this one. So this is the best one I have for being white, which I think will be absolutely perfect for this. So again, you want to go the way the fabric's flowing, which is down that way. So that'll be our top. Now we only want piece. So if we cut it to length first, get rid of all the offcuts we don't want. So we're going to want from there to there times 2, so to about there. We only want, how long do we want? Just over that. So just a little bit more. Really should measure this. Right, so that's where we want it. So we're going to roll it over. And now we're going to cut that through there. Same as we did before, we're just going to run it between our fabric and our, this is quite dense, this is, so so you want to keep it between the blade between your fabric and the fur, because if you don't, you'll end up with just a straight edge and it will look not very nice. So you end up with the fur hanging lower than the fabric. That's what you want. Alright, so we're going to cut this in half, which is there somewhere. So that should be enough to do both of these. Now one's bigger than the other, so we may have to just trim it a little bit. That's better. So again, find the middle. Like there, cut through there for our nose. So that's the first one. So again, find the middle. So we're going to pick our noses. Now the one, like I said, one's slightly smaller than the other one, so we'll pick a slightly smaller nose for this one, and we're going to get rid of that crack, so that crack's going to be underneath. So we're going to drill our hole around about this, aren't we? That's our first one, and then we'll do our second one. This is slightly bigger, so we'll do a slightly bigger nose on this one. So we'll get that nice grain pattern at the back, so there somewhere. Don't drop it. It's a little bit low, that one, but that'll be okay. We could just move that around a little bit if we wanted to. It's just a little bit low, so let's just move it around here a little bit. That's better. That's better. I'll make sure our nose gets around our nose, which it does. So lovely. So just a case of gluing them on then, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by gluing one side on and then the other. So we'll just super glue in the nose first, I think. So we're just going to put a little blob of glue in there. Don't need no activator because they're well polished, a bit slippery. Don't need no activator in there because that'll cure over time. Better off putting it in the hole than you are on the nose, because if you put it on the nose, as you push it in, it's just going to splatter everywhere. If you put it in a hole, as it runs down the hole, that'll coat. So then when you put the nose in, that'll grab to the wall. So, right, so let's get our hot glue gun. So we're going to do this one first. So like I said, I'm just going to put a bit on here. We're going to do one half first. Don't get on your finger because it's hot. So what you can do then is let that cure off a little bit, and then you can come up behind it and just put a little bit on your fabric. Just gently squeeze it down so you get a nice flush finish. Good thing with hot melt glue is that'll just squeeze up to the edge. So let that cool off a little bit. We'll just get the last little bit in here. So just push it up to the edge. And then we'll just let that dry. And then we'll give that a brush. So that's our first one done. So there you go. There's my 3 gonks. 2 Christmas ones, as it is a Christmas fair, so I thought I'd do a couple of Christmas ones. And then a, well, I don't know what we call this one really. Looks like cousin-it of the Adams family, doesn't it? But anyway, quite traditional. A lot of people make the hat and the body separate. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to see some amazing gonks, then go and watch Emma Tiny Turner. She makes some awesome gonks. But the idea of a gonk is you can make it however you want to do it. It doesn't matter how the hat is, whether it's traditional, whether it's top hat, bowler hat, whatever you want. And if you look on Facebook, there are some awesome people who make some gonks, so go over and check those out as well. But like I say, I do my hats and bodies in one piece. I find it a bit easier, but it's down to the individual. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for coming over and joining me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So thank you very much for coming. Take care, speak to you soon, and bye for now.